right. It's time for the Interview Roulette segment.
Okay.
And I had you pick some numbers before we got started, and I'm going to ask you the questions based off those numbers. The first one is, if you could be a personal assistant to anyone, who would it be?
If I could be a personal assistant to anyone, who would it be? Could it be dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
John Lennon.
John Lennon? Why?
I think he is the most open-minded. He's a man ahead of his time. He saw things before most people did. Creative genius. I wouldn't call him perfect, but yet he lived his life his way. He lived his life his way, and he was he was a conviction of what he believed in. And I love his music. Love his music.
What is one thing you hope to do before you die?
It used to be go to Australia, but now that ship has sailed after I've heard all the crap happening in Australia.
Right.
What is one thing that I want to do before I die? Own a beach house right across from the ocean.
Okay. Any particular reason why, or you just love the ocean?
A healthy beach house that I could comfortably afford. I don't want just a beach house, but a beach house that I could comfortably afford. That's what I want. Because I love the water, being that I'm a Cancerian, born July 4th. And I always wanted to have a beach house. I mean, I visit friends who do have houses on the beach, and I appreciate it. But I would say another thing is to travel the country, travel the world, making a living at it, being able to speak. I always dreamed of also having my own sitcom. I always wanted to be a part of a sitcom. It doesn't have to be my own, but to be a part of a sitcom. That would also be a dream of mine. What I would want to do is to be a part of a sitcom, yeah. Or like I said, to travel and get paid to be a public speaker, which actually I do at times, but I want to do it, more abroad.
Right. What is the most creative excuse to get out of doing something you didn't want to do that you've used?
What is the most creative? That one, I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know. Creative. Oh, the reason why I can't come over, the reason why I can't come over to your house, or the reason why I can't read you now, is because I have a meeting with a TV producer for a TV show.
You can't argue with that one.
Yeah, but actually that has happened. But then I've also used that as an excuse to get out of a situation. And they go, "Oh, wow, okay." But it has been true. But I also use that.
Are there any shows you've played that stand out the most to you as memorable, like the most memorable?
Yeah. I was on New Jersey's most popular radio station. And it was the first time I was on the show. They've had me back after the first time. And they have, I think they have like close to 1 million followers or whatnot. So I was pretty psyched that I was able to be on that show. And so the interviewer, the guy who was the DJ, the most popular interviewer at that time, said to me, "So Art, what do you see for me? Who's around me right now?" And I said, "Is there any angels around me?" I said, "You haven't." I said, Moish is around you." He goes, "I don't have a Moish in my family." I said, "No, I see a Moish around you." So we went to a commercial break, and his wife called up during the commercial break, and she said, "We have an Uncle Moish." And so we get back on the air. And so he goes, "Well, I just asked Artie, if I had any angels or any people hanging out around me who's watching over me." And he said, "A Moish." And my wife just called during the commercial break, said, "We have an Uncle Moish." And so he goes, "And what Jewish family doesn't have an Uncle Moish?" And so that was pretty funny. That was one of the many memorable moments. I was on the very first time I was on another radio show in New Jersey, and he said to me, "So Art, do you have any winning lottery numbers?" And so I wasn't expecting a question like that. So right off the top of my head, I said, "Yeah, that's easy, 1073." And that was the TV station number. So I just said it just to be funny. I said, "Yeah, 1073." So the next day he emails me. He goes, "Art, I don't know if you were kidding or not when you told me 1073, but I played those numbers and you're only off by one number." So.
All right. I think I know the answer to this last one from the interview roulette. If you wanted to live off radar, where would it be?
I don't get the question. If I wanted to live off radar, where would it be? I don't get that question.
Okay, so like if you wanted to live off the grid, off the radar, just a quiet life, no connection to technology or anything like that, where would it be?
With no question, Jamaica.
Anywhere you can be in a beach house near the ocean.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, Mont. That's right, Mont. Anywhere where I could just chill out, relax, and just eat fresh fruit every day and be by the beach and the ocean, and I'm a happy camper.
All right. Well, you've piqued my interest, and I have to ask. I'm very much the take it as it comes. I don't really want to know my future. I don't really want to know what good or bad things are coming to me. I kind of roll with the punches as best that I can. But I have lost a few people that were very close to me, and I'm curious if they're still hanging around.
I feel like the person who's around you, I'm not getting the name, but I'm getting that there is somebody who's very around you that you always respected and always loved. And I would say she was almost like very Angelica around you. It's somebody who was just so serene and always had the right words to say to you, always knowing what to say to you. And I feel like this person who you looked up to, you just saw her differently than everybody else because she was such a loving, caring person and always in your corner, always had the right thing to say, or always willing to give you a hug, even though at times you might not have wanted it. But she was always just very pleasant. Is there someone by the name of Anne Marie, or Mary Ann?
No,
Anna Marie.
But
I am getting the personality, if not the name, then I am getting the personality, because I'm definitely seeing somebody with light hair and was just very sweet, very angelic.
There are two women in my life that I have lost in the last 2 years. And if that could be either one of them, and they're actually one. They are.
Who is the thinner of the two?
My grandmother, Virginia.
Virginia. Okay, it's her then. It's her then.
She looked out for me quite a bit.
Yep. That's her. That's her that's pulling through.
Oh, it's good to know. Like I told you before, I'm a little sensitive myself. I have, I don't know if I'd necessarily call it a gift, but I've my mother died last year, and since then the house has felt like there is a lot of people in it when it's not filled with people, if you get what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
And I've just assumed that it was my mother and my grandfather and my grandmother kind of popping in to check on us.
Yeah. No, it's very much so true, but especially your grandmother. 617, who's connected with 617 around January 17th, maybe January 6th, 7th, July 16th. I'm playing with 617. Right around that time, somebody's birthday and anniversary.
I believe is 6/7.
Oh, it's 6/7.
Yeah,
June 7th.
I believe so. Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's her. That's her energy pulling through with those numbers. You might want to play those numbers too soon.
My luck, the lottery's already been pulled for the night. All right, Artie, I want to thank you for joining me. This has been a great chat. I have enjoyed every minute of it. And where
Thank
can
you.
people get your books if they so choose?
Oh yeah, I promise you, you're going to think that I wrote these books just for you. I mean, the books come with such information, and it's a very easy read, and has really cool illustrations. If you go to artiehoffman.com or amazon.com, where you can get everything in the kitchen sink on Amazon. But it's called Angels and Answers. And then the other one is called Have Your Angels Call My Angels. If anybody wanted a private reading, whether it be in person, because I'm in New Jersey, or over the phone or FaceTime, you could always call me at 732-778-7173, or you can email me, Artie Hoffman at Gmail, and that's ARTIE HOFFMAN, Artie Hoffman at Gmail. And it was a great pleasure sharing time with you. Oh, and every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I do free readings for the public. So if you join my Facebook live show Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time, like I said, people sign in. I have an assistant. She randomly picks questions because I have hundreds of questions during the show. It's an hour show. And I connect to people's loved ones, and I answer people's personal questions. You'll like this one. So a lot of times when girls will sign in and they'll say, "Hey, Artie, do you see me getting pregnant soon?" And I said, "Yeah, when you stop watching my show and get in the bedroom, your odds are going to go way up."
I also know too, you're trying to grow your TikTok fan base so you can get to 1,000 and be able to go live.
Yes, 100% true. I want to do live TikTok. So if you could please sign up to Artie Hoffman 7777. It's 5 sevens. Artie Hoffman 7777. If you sign up, I would appreciate it, because once I have 1,000, then I could do live shows there, and I want to do live video shows on TikTok. So, and I appreciate you mentioning that. And every single morning, if you want to be inspired, I always have beautiful inspirations on my Instagram, Artie Hoffman Instagram, or on my Facebook. There's beautiful messages that I send out to the public every day. Inspirational. One of my friends, you're going to like this one. One of my friends said to me, "Art, when it comes to life, everything's good in the end. And if it's not good, then it's not the end."
I like that. I know I came up with one years ago, and I try to live by it, and I get away from it sometimes. But mine is don't let your past fuck up your future.
There, that's a very good one. Point blank. And another one you'll like is, the fire that's within me is greater than the fire that surrounds me.
One of us, one of us, one of us, one of us.